Good morning, everyone. Happy Tuesday. Welcome to Spark It Up Tuesday here in beautiful Norwell, Massachusetts. So today is your book review. As you know, I try and do one about once a month, and this one is amazing. Definitely in my top, probably 2 books of all time, maybe top 3, probably top 2. It's great. It's great. It's great. And it's getting a ton of press right now, so you may have heard of it if you're kind of in that book reading type world, for business books anyway. And this is Believe It. It just came out in February, toward the end of February, and I think it's already on the #1. It's in the New York Times bestseller list already, under the business section. It is that good. So I am just going to go through it as quick as I can and just pull out what I got from this book. There are so many great things to get from this book. I just chose a few that I'm going to share, but I cannot recommend this book enough. Plus, it's a great story. So the author is Jamie Kern Lima, and she's the founder of It Cosmetics. So if you don't know It Cosmetics, I did not until pretty recently. That is a makeup company, but she started it in her living room, as the book will tell you. And a lot of people start makeup companies in their living room, and not many end up like this one. So she goes into why she started. She actually was a local television reporter. I forget, somewhere in one of the Midwest states, I believe. So she did local TV, and she had a problem with her skin, so she was always experimenting with cosmetics so that she would look good on camera, and never found something that would work and stay working while she was on scene or whatnot for this local news station. And it caused some embarrassing moments for her. So she decided that she was going to, toil around with some cosmetics and create something that actually works and stays in place. So that's how she founded It Cosmetics. And then it goes through how hard is it to start a cosmetics company? It is extremely hard. She had a lot of doors shut in her face. She barely kept it together for years until finally she had a breakthrough, and it just sold last year to L'Oreal, which is, I think, the biggest makeup company in the world, for over $1 billion. And even she can't believe she gets to say that. So amazing story about how she did it. She takes you through the whole journey, and then some of the lessons she learned, which I just love. So I'm going to go through a few of those with you. The first one in chapter 19, she attributes I'd say one main thing to her success, and it's that she always knew what her why was. So you probably hear that a lot. Simon Sinek made that pretty popular. People don't buy what you make. People buy the why you do it. I just botched that, but you know what I get. Like, people buy your why, not what you're doing. So she says early in the book, a lot of people set goals and even have a goal setting journal, but I've learned that for me, that isn't enough. I believe you have to attach a why to any goal, and that why has to be so meaningful to you that no matter how hard things get, your belief in your why is powerful enough to withstand the hard times when things just aren't going your way. And a lot of this book is about all of those doors that really got slammed in her face. Some are heart-wrenching, some make sense, but but she just kept going. And I swear, I know when I'm like halfway through the book and you just read like about her like 9th big rejection, you're thinking, why aren't you hanging up the towel by now? But you go back to this, and she's like, her why was so much stronger than all of the rejections that she was getting. So that was amazing. And then another part that I really like, she addresses fear, right? So at this point, if I were her, how many rejections can you really take? And you're just thinking, maybe this isn't it. But she addresses fear, and she says this: playing it safe would have meant putting fear on a pedestal instead of love. And like everything in life, when we let fear or other people's opinions govern our own decisions, it often comes at the price of everything that actually matters. So I thought that was really, really great. And then oh God. And she actually references this author speaker. His name is Bob Goff. And I've heard him through Don Miller, who wrote Storybrand. Also, it's a mentor of his. So I ended up following Bob Goff on Instagram. He's actually a really cool dude, an older man, so wise, has great things to say. And she was able to meet with him, and he mentored her for a while. And this is what she got from Bob. Bob taught me that we all have a microphone that we control in our own lives. And when we get to choose the people we hand that microphone to. We decide who speaks into it and at what volume. When we're able to decide who to let speak into our lives or who we hand our microphone to, it can change everything. So I love that as well. I've read and learned a lot about, you are the 5 people that are closest to you. You become them. So be careful how you choose your friends type things. Definitely learned that in my years, that you definitely are who you hang out with. So I love this about the microphone analogy, especially as you get older. It makes more sense to think of it that way, and who you get to turn the volume up, the people that really love you and just spark you, and the people that still have to be in your life. I don't know, maybe it's family and you just want to turn that volume down because they really shouldn't be speaking for you. I thought it was just a great metaphor. And then another quick story when she met Meg Whitman, which is one of her idols. So Meg Whitman is pretty well-known CEO, I think for Hewlett Packard, another huge company. Like she's just very, very well-known. And Forbes named her the second richest woman in America as well. So very successful. And she was so excited to meet her. So when she did, and she goes through this whole story about how nervous she was but wanted to blurt out this question, this is what happened. Meg, I have a question and I might not ever get this shot again, so I'm going to ask it. I've been blown away lately by how many women, almost everyone, no matter how successful they are, all have one thing in common. They've spent energy worrying about and being insecure about their body, weight, or appearance. In fact, almost all of the incredibly successful executives I know and other hugely successful women, lawyers, CEOs, etc., they all admit that they often measure their self-worth on any given day by what dress size they fit into. Meg, have you ever felt this way, or do you ever worry about these things? And this was Meg's answer. No. So she says, what, really? Meg says, no. Something has to give. This is Meg speaking. And something had to give. With everything in my life, I had to decide what had to give. I have kids. I have a career. I couldn't keep my house the way Martha Stewart would. Things just have to give. And that wasn't something I chose to worry about. My God, I love that. That this famous, extremely successful woman had said this. I actually had made a similar deduction in my own life years ago when it came to finances. I remember just being worried about everything all the time. And worrying is really kind of a useless emotion, right? Because it doesn't get you anywhere. It doesn't get you anything. And I couldn't stand it, but I don't know, maybe it's Catholic guilt, but I just worried about everything. And finances being one of the big ones, as it is for most people. So I remember deciding, well, I'm either going to worry. I only have this much worry to give. Which way am I going to give it? Well, I'm going to give it to making money. I'm going to focus all that worry energy on making money and not worrying about paying my bills. And so what I ended up doing, and I didn't know if it was going to work, but I tried it. I ended up setting all of my bills just on auto pay. And then I knew what amount that I needed to cover those bills. And so all my energy was just focused into making sure that I was able to put enough money in my account because those bills were automatically going out anyway, because I set it up that way. So the transference of that worry energy just over to one side instead of spreading it across everything, I think made a really, really big difference in my life. So I love that she said that. I know my analogy is a little different, but it definitely worked for me. And I've been telling people that since I came to that realization years ago, and I think it works for them as well. So the last thing I'm going to read before I sign off is her closing paragraph, which honestly is probably the best closing paragraph of any book I may have ever read. Or maybe it's just speaking to me right now in my life, but I thought it was amazing. It brought me to tears, and I'm just going to read that closing paragraph. Lessons I've learned, sometimes the hard way. To believe in the power of your own intuition. To believe that you're more powerful than your opposition, including mean girls, and that balance is a lie. To believe in the power of your own microphone and in knowing how to use it and who to give it to and who you need to turn down the volume on. To believe in the power of your why and that your own authenticity is your superpower. To believe people when they show you who they truly are. Believe in being brave and believe that haters are just confused supporters. To believe in the power of living your values and to value the power of asking for what you need. To believe that life isn't meant to do alone and to know that where you come from doesn't determine where you're going. To believe in giving what you need most, then watching in awe as it comes to you in full force. To believe in miracles, believe you are more than enough, and of course, believe in Oprah. And she adds that because she actually gets to meet Oprah one-on-one, and she talks about that in here, and it's such a great story. So again, here we go. Jamie Kern Lima, believe it. If you don't already have this book, get it. It's fantastic. It's such a fun read. I can't recommend